Now that your domain is created and Active Directory services are installed, you can start creating users, groups, grant users access rights, joining computers to the domain, and many more tasks. Those administration tasks are performed by using the appropriate Active Directory tools created when adding the Active Directory domain services role on the domain controller. I want to discuss the different methods a system administrator can use to perform those tasks and what are the best practices recommended to ensure the security of your network. To perform your administration tasks on the Windows server, you can physically access your server in your data center room, open a session, and do the job. But this way of doing is rare nowadays. While sometimes a physical interaction with your server is needed, today's servers are increasingly virtualized, and servers are usually hosted on remote data centers or on the cloud, far away from the administrator's office. The second way of doing the administration job is by remotely connecting to the server via the Remote Desktop Protocol, or RDP for short. This consists of opening a remote session on the server from your computer through the network. This has the advantage of not to be physically in front of your server to do the job. Your server can be thousands of miles away from your office. You can always get access to it as long as your server is online. However, this solution has drawbacks. Your server came with only 2 free RDP instances. So imagine this situation. You work in a large organization with 50 or more system administrators spread around the country. 2 of your sysadmins has opened an RDP session on the domain controller. When yourself try to open a session on that same server, you will not be allowed because the 2 available RDP sessions has been used. So what you can do? Are you going to wait until one of the system administrators closes its RDP session? I know by experience that most sysadmins are lazy. When they finish working on a remote server, they don't bother closing their session. They just minimize the RDP window. And even if they close the RDP window, the RDP session remains opened. And if you don't want to wait, are you going to call each of your fellow sysadmins and ask if he or she has opened a session on the server you want to work on? Seriously, you can spend the day on the phone before you get your hand on your guy. So this is definitely not the good way to administer your servers. RDP connections should be the exception and not the rule. The best practices recommended by Microsoft for remote server administration is by using the Remote Server Administration Tools, or RSAT for short. RSAT must be installed on a dedicated machine, usually a Windows 10 workstation. These workstations are so-called Privileged Administration Workstations, or PAW for short. PAW is a specially configured computer that you use to only perform remote administration tasks. You don't use this computer to read your emails or surf on the internet. Many security incidents happened because a privileged administrator's computer was infected with malware and then has been used to perform administration tasks on servers. So, remote server administration tools installed on a privileged workstation is what you need to perform your administration tasks.